are you doing? How are you doing today? I'm just gonna wait for some more people to get on. But until then, I'm gonna try to get on the stream with my computer. So let me know in the chat, how are you doing today? My computer's being a bit weird, so we'll let that be for now, but let's wait for some more people. And that's what we have going on. I put all of the coins in a little box just so I could organize it more easily. Hey Linda Wallace, how are you doing? I've seen you around, so it's good to see you on one of the streams. We have a nice Canadian dump, some King George there, some young heads there, some older coins just all around. I'm gonna wait for some more people to get on. Right now we have 3 and increasing pretty steadily. So how are you doing, Linda? And how are you doing, Shirley? Good to see you here. Any questions or comments for me? Please let them in. And I'm open to suggestions. Linda, wow, that's good. I'm open to suggestions and ideas because I don't know much about Canadian coins. Hey, Silver Serpent, how are you doing? So good to see you in the stream. I'm just waiting until about 5 minutes into the stream to get started with the hunt. There's our, sorry about the tripod, guys. It's a work in progress. But there's our dumps and King George here. Hey, Acoustics with Thera, how are you doing? Some old Canadian coins here, so please, if you know anything about eras, varieties, I don't know much. I only know like 1965 blunt 5s, 1967 double date. I do watch Catterall Hunter, and he is awesome, so good to finally have another live stream. Haven't had one in a while. So we'll just wait another minute or so to get started with the hunt. So I can zoom in here, so let me put it like that. I'm just sort of adjusting. And thank you all so much for 500 subscribers. I know I said it in my most recent giveaway video, sorry. But thank you so much for 500 subscribers. And everyone in the chat, can you hear me? Can you hear? Yeah, because there it is exciting. Can you hear me okay? I just haven't done a live stream in a while, so I want to make sure everything is running great. There's my thumbs up. I want to make sure everything's running great before I get started. So I have 6 people watching. That's amazing. Thank you so much, everyone. All right. I think we've waited long enough. So I'm going to go ahead and gather the first little bit of coins here to go through. Yeah, Linda Wallace, thank you for saying that. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe if you weren't already, which I know a lot of you on here are. So here's our first few coins. All right, let's get started. So first coin. Oh, I can't do a stream for too long, but we can for a little bit. Our first coin here is going to be a 1946 King George VI, and I think everything in this, I keep saying cubicles, but sort of everything in this box, or in this little area. Let me show you what I mean here. And this is going to be a KG6, and I think also in that, but I'm not sure. Silver Serpent, thank you. So 1946 KG, and if we have a lot of repeating dates here, but I'm gonna try like here, another 1946, 1951, different date, 1951. All right, thank you, Acoustics with Thera. 1951, 1946, and you can't see it, but I'm sort of separating the dates up here, so at the end or when I have to go, let me zoom back in. At the end or when I have to go, I will show everything to you. So 1951, King George VI. I don't think this is going to be the most exciting stream ever because there's really no way to make repeating date pennies that exciting, but 1951 again. I think a lot of these are going to be, oh no, I got some different dates. So 1951. By here we got a 1945, so that's our oldest. Can be matched by 1947. And guys, if you didn't know, this little quick tip. King George VI pennies are made from 1938 to 1952. Young head or laureate portraits, which look like this, are made from 1953 to 1964. And then everything else after that is pretty much just copper up until 1996. And after 1996, there's really no extra value. I just like collecting them. So here's our oldest again with a little bit of damage right there. 1942. Here we got a 1943. There's no mint marks on these, so I won't be saying 1942 Auto or 1942 Montreal. 1942 again. People metal detecting find a lot of silver coins in Canada. Yeah, I'm sure Silver Serpent, just like people metal detecting here find a lot of silver coins here. 1942. Although I do watch channels like Diggin and Digging with Dave, so 1945. So, and I know that they don't find too many, very special coins with some buttons and stuff. And when they'll find the occasional mercury dime or wheat penny. If they get really lucky, you can find an Indian head cent or something older than a mercury dime. Here, getting back into the late 40s, another 1946. Got a beat up 1948. Front isn't that bad, or reverse, however you call this, because usually the head is the obverse, but that is considered the one with the date, but the side with the date is on the back. So Canadian coins are confusing like that. 1948, 1947, and 1942. I did see I did a YouTube short, if you guys haven't seen that already, which I probably haven't because I posted only a few minutes before I started streaming. Yeah, Silver Serpent, just send them to my way. No, I'm kidding. Shirley Nelson, okay, I didn't know that. Thanks a lot for telling me. And yeah, guys, if I say anything wrong, because I'm not an expert in Canadian coins, please let me know. Please let me know. I'm very appreciative of people that let me know. So thank you a lot, Shirley Wilson. Hi, Acoustics with Dara. I see you're back. 1950, new date. 1950. And a 1945. 1945. 1945. And I did see in one of the other little boxes or cubicles, whatever you want to call it, I did see a 1939. So that's pretty exciting. 1950. 1943. All right, Acoustics with Dara. Haha, I'll call you Dara. Is that okay if I call you Dara? Because I don't know you that well, so. Yeah, Silver Serpent, I know. I know what you mean, brother. But, definitely was not the good old days. Okay, Dara. 1952, another new date. And I apologize if I'm not reading the dates, but I'm just trying to go pretty fast because I'm not sure how much time I have. And there's a lot of these to get through. So any repeating dates, I probably won't be saying. A couple more 1950s. And a couple of more 1950s. Yeah, they are Silver Serpent. Usually when I find these, this was a collection done from a bank. They said they happened to have like a It wasn't even rolls. It was just a loose bag. Here, a couple new dates. I guess not new dates, but dates we haven't found too often. 1942 and a 1943. Yeah, Silver Serpent. They are. That is one of the first things I noticed, that there isn't too much wear. Like when you find one of these in a box of pennies from here, which is pretty rare nowadays. But when you do, they're in not great condition. But they're brown, but they have very good detail. Like look at this one. Hey Daniel, how are you doing tonight? Glad you could make it to the stream. All right, first cubicle done. There are 2 cubicles that are not filled, but that's just because of sort of how we ordered them. So let me get started with the second. Guys, let me know what I should call them. Should I call them cubicles, boxes, squares, all of the above? Any questions or comments in the chat? Feel free to ask away, because that is what these live streams are for. All right, here's our first handful from the new box, new square, new cubicle, however you would like to call it. All right, 1953, new date. 1941, earliest penny, or cent I should say, 1940. The record has been beat, 1940. Dara is awesome. Yeah, she just wanted me to know that. 1957 Young Head, so there's a new design. That's one of the earlier Young Heads, only a couple years after they started making these. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that below the King George VI. All right, you're not gonna be able to see it, but if I zoom out, you might be able to. Yeah, right there. All right, back with the hunt. All right, another Young Head, 1953. Sorry, I just got a little mixed up there for a second, but that's the first year of a Young Head. Well, Silver Serpent, I have a little funny story. I actually, my grandparents gave me some coins because they used to live in Canada. That was actually just in a box like this, and I repurposed this box. Not the coins in it, but I repurposed this box. And there were 6 Indians in there. The earliest one was 77 or 76, I believe. They were all in pretty bad shape, but a little funny story since you brought that up. I was gonna mention that, but I completely blanked in my mind. There's a new date, 1944. One of the earlier ones, but not the earliest one. 1940. Another 40s, which is gonna be a 44. Silver Serpent, yeah, they probably did sit in a huge vault somewhere. That's gonna be our nicest 1958, and another 1957, and another 1957. So what I'm seeing here is, sort of the same dates in the same area. So what I'm thinking is someone might have gone through these first and organized them, and then put them into rolls, and then maybe the bank teller, because they have a coin machine at the bank, so maybe the bank teller put them through the coin machine and they were just in date order. So I'm not sure what's going on, but definitely not the usual not the usual bank pickup, if you ask me. So we're just gonna go ahead with another handful from that cubicle. 1954, another Young Head, and a new date as well. There's gonna be a couple more Young Heads in here just because of, I guess, the way it's ordered. So 1953. Shirley says the first year for the King George V. It will be in 1920. Yeah, I know that those were manufactured much before the King George VI, But thanks a lot for letting me know, because that's why I didn't bring it up, was because I actually didn't know when they started manufacturing. So thank you for telling me. I appreciate it. There's could be some 1957s here, and that's a 1953. 1953 again. And once I start coming across the dates that I know have errors and varieties to look for, I'll look for them under my scope, which isn't hooked up to the stream because I'm streaming from my phone, and not like a webcam or something on my computer. So it's gonna be slow, and I'll tell you if I see anything, but most likely no. This is gonna be in a little bit nicer condition. It's another 1957, but I'm gonna go ahead and put that to the side just because of the condition it's in. Then we have a 1940. I'm so tempted to say, because I don't see a mint mark, and so I'm so tempted to say 1940 Philadelphia, but there's a new date. I don't think we have a 1941 yet. Yeah, it's a new date, 1941. Not from Philadelphia, because these are not American. And there's our earliest one. There's a 1939. The 30s. King George VI penny. It's a pretty cool find. I don't see a lot of those. And hopefully there's a couple more in here. 1940. We're gonna have a couple young heads here. 1956. 1957. So a new date and a common date. 1955. And also, guys, speaking of common dates, if you see a date that's low mintage-ish, or because I know in Canada they don't really have key dates, but if you see a date that's not as common as the others, feel free to let me know. 1941 and 1944 will be those two King Georges. King George VI, I should specify, because it did make King George V's, but those were a lot older. So if I found one of those, I'd be pretty psyched, along with finding an Indian head, something like Silver Serpent mentioned. Which one, Silver Serpent? Which one? I'm trying to find... Which one, Silver Serpent? I'm trying to find it. I don't see it. Like a Counter-Strike sort of, or is there a joke that I'm not getting? Because I tend to not get jokes. Hey Grandpa, Tim's Copper Corner, how are you? I went through a box of pennies today that I have to edit a little bit and upload, so it should be on YouTube in the next couple of days or so, but I'd find a lot of copper. So, just thought you'd like to know that. All right, 1955. And $1955 again. 1954, 55, and 53. So that's going to come to the end of that square. And Grandpa Tim, or I'll just call you Tim, let me know which one you prefer, if you prefer either. We have a little bit of a Canadian penny dump. We have a lot of King George's so far. Those are all King George's minus those. Just the ones on the top are King George's. A lot of 40s, 50s King George's, but hey, they're old and they're coins. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the new cubicle, if you will. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pick up some coins. These seem to be mostly young heads or laureate portraits, if you want to get fancy. But here we go. First one, pretty beat up condition, is in 1960. So yeah, I think these are gonna be more modern, sort of. Oh, Silver Serpent, yeah. Speaking of, I found a quarter on the ground today that said that was a bison, Philadelphia bison, 1963. That said, "In God We Rest." So I made a couple bucks by looking down at my feet. 1964 is going to be the most modern young head. 1958. Mm, 1963. 1950. Where are the 19? Oh, that's gonna be our earliest? No, is that a King George? That is a King George. I missed it. The damage fooled me, and I thought it was a young head. All right, 1964, 1958, 1953. If you have any questions or comments for me, make sure to leave it down in the chat. 1963 and 1958. $19.59, so that's going to be a new date. Grandpa Tim, we actually started around 15 or so minutes ago, or 22 according to my timer, but unfortunately no. These were, let me just tell you the story, Tim. So I went to a bank and they had a bag of coins that they said they had put through the coin machine. And they were all Canadians, and I saw a couple KG6s, so I said, give them to me. And it turned out to be a huge KG6 young head so far collection jump, so I'm pretty happy with my choice. I will, of course, be keeping these because I think these coins are awesome. Yeah, surely. These are very repetitive dates. There aren't many new dates. 1963. Let's see, 1959. 1964. There's a new date, 1961. 1959. Both of them are 1959. All right. Yeah, Grandpa Tim. So I said to the bank teller, I said, very nice. I'm gonna make the chat a little bit more exciting. I'm gonna go ahead and pick out these coins, but I'm gonna create a poll. Let me guys know, what should the question be? Let me know what the poll question should be. Also, if you're not subscribed yet, which I assume most of you are because there's only 4 of you, make sure you subscribe. All right, let's get started. 1961. 1961. 1964. Couple of more young heads. And I just saw this, so I wanted to pull it out because this one, even though it has some fingerprints, which aren't mine, even though I just touched the coin, it is in pretty nice shape. It has some of that mint luster left on it, so I'm going to go ahead and put it to the side. All right, move the camera a little bit. 1961. 1961. And so, yeah, like I said earlier, if you have any questions or comments for me, make sure to leave it down in the chat so I can answer it, because that is what the purpose of these live streams are. It is for me to help out the community, answering any questions you have. And, oh, hey, Kids and Her Coins. How are you doing today? Haven't mailed out your package yet, but I'm I hope I will get to that by Saturday. I've just been a bit busy. 1961s. A lot of these are 1961s. Let's see. The other day hunting pennies, I got 1920 Canadian small cent in my boxes, but trashed. Well, his and her coins. That is a first year, I believe, King George V. So that's a pretty awesome find. If I found one of those, I think I'd have to have a little bit of a celebration. How are you doing, his and her coins? 1958 to 1964. Let me finish up with this batch, and then I'll create a poll. Let me guys know what you think the poll question should be. 1964, 1958, and 1960. His and her coins. Yeah. If I found one, I would have to get a sip of water, rub my eyes, pinch myself, and then see if I was actually just found that coin. All right, poll question. Let me create a poll question. All right, I know what the question would be. Give me a minute. I'm just creating a poll question. That's why I'm... Yeah, Grandpa Tim. I knew the name from somewhere. I knew it. I was like, that name is so familiar. That's what it was. He found tons of copper. He found like a whole cup of copper. Actually, what did I just say? Copper cup? Let's see. This is my copper cup. Let me zoom out some. There it is. Not as big as Rob's, but I do tend to find about 3/4 on average. All right, I just created a poll, so make sure you put your opinion in the chat. All right, we're gonna get started with the new square now. And these just seem to me pretty modern, young head, like 1960s. Silver Serpent, you're talking about the Canadian coins? Well, I think it's because they are mainly minted from, like now they have like a composition mark, which is what people call them. But I think mainly because they used to just make them at one mint. That was sort of what I think. Like they have the Royal Canadian Mint mark and then the Ottawa Mint mark. So that's sort of what I was led to believe, but let me zoom out a little bit. I was a little bit too zoomed in there. All right, here we go. 1962, so that is going to be a new date. 1961. Yeah, Grandpa Tim, I actually traded it with him, and he said I was going to trade him a box of pennies, but when I got the box of pennies, it had a wheat cent under. So I decided I would give him some silver for the giveaways, and that worked out. All right, and this coin here, my 1961 pile is overflowing, so that's what you see when you see that coin there. If I have any overflowing piles, you might see them. Yeah, I like to watch the penny box hunts with my father. So sorry you hear my dog barking in the background. She sees someone on the street, I guess. But I watched the penny box series with my father because I got him into coins actually. Let's see, what is that date going to be? I got him into coins, so do I have 2 piles of 1962 here? No, I think I messed up. Hold on. And I was watching it with my father, and he said, yeah, this was his exact quote. He said, yeah, that's an appropriate name. There's tons of copper in there. Because he knows that when I hunt, I find some copper, but I don't find copper like that copper. So, little something I thought you might find funny. So there's going to be our 62 overflow pile, which means we're going to have to move everything down a bit. There's going to be a nice 1962. And Rob is streaming now. I forgot today was a Wednesday. So anyone who wants to go watch Rob, go watch Rob. I'll probably be on until about 7:05 because that's when he tends to start. And I'll be watching as well because my computer isn't working tonight. So I'll have to watch it on my phone or my TV. So I'm probably going to go soon because these are mainly just very repetitive dates. If I find anything super special, I'll either post a community tab or community update, or I'll make a short. So I'm just gonna, hey Silvara, I was actually just saying that I'm gonna wrap up the Canadian penny collection dumps in a couple minutes just because Rob's stream is starting and I don't want to interrupt that, and anyone who wants to go can watch it. So we're almost done, but thank you for everyone who came in. I'm not done hunting yet, so if you want to stay around, stay around. If you don't want to stay around, it won't bother me. And so yeah, so right now I see in the poll that 33% say $half, 33% say nickels. Yeah, $half and quarters and nickels are my 2 favorite coins to hunt. Or I guess my 3 favorite coins. All right, there's another really nice 1963, and this one is in fantastic condition actually. Some fingerprints, but look at that luster. I've noticed that the Canadian coins almost look proof-like. 1963. 1963. 1963, 1963, and, if you believe it, 1963. So I'm just going to try to go pretty fast because I know his stream is starting in a couple. Once again, if you have any last comments or questions for me, please leave them down in the chat. I would like to hear them, and I would like to try to answer them as well. But if you have any answers for for whoever asks, or answers for me, please also leave it down. And another beautiful 1963 as well. So I assume that the rest are probably just going to be 1963s or or early 60s. 63, 63, 63. 63, 63. 63, 63, and wow, a different date. 2 different dates, both 1962. Alright, guys. Fun hanging out with you too, Grandpa Tim. Alright, guys. Rob's starting. I'm ending. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like if you haven't, and subscribe if you haven't. You are the best community I could ever ask for. Thank you so much for 500 subscribers. I know I told you I'd show you the board, so there's the board. These are the young heads. The ones on top are the King Georges. Thank you guys so much for watching. And good night, all. Good night.